Tammy Sue. What are we doing today?
On a bumpy road, fixing to take Esme to the airport.
Here's a question that Esme can answer. Great videos. I'm currently in the process, this is Vey. I'm currently in the process of adopting my first Frenchie. She's about 10 weeks old. When I went on the first visit, she wasn't very active, very timid and nervous. The owner said she has just took a bath and was just cold, but I didn't see her walk much around with the other dogs. Should I be concerned? So let's see what Esme says.
Concern.
Here's Esme. Esme, are you nervous?
Yeah, well, my driving's making her nervous.
So the answer is she is. This is a dog right here who's not nervous at all. She's a little fire plug, little alien. All the whole litters, they're pretty much all of this lot were. But the answer is, here is a dog who's in a unfamiliar surrounding.
Oh yeah.
Never been in a car before.
Right.
Never seen anything outside our property, and she is acting a little bit nervous, a little bit clingy. So,
well, it's a bumpy road too.
Yeah, it's a bumpy road, and it's kind of loud. You can see she's got her ears back. So, but on the other side of this is dogs, like humans, have lots of different personalities, and you can have a litter where you've got one dog like Esme who's very outgoing, and you can have another dog just wants to be underneath your feet all the time. So, it's not necessarily a problem, but it certainly is a difference in personality, just like people. I'm a very nervous, shy person, and Tammy's very outgoing and belligerent. Right, Tammy?
I tell it like how it is. And y'all have heard me say it too.
So let's just show little Esme off here real quick. This is little Esme.
Well, don't make her nervous.
I won't.
Holding her up there. The road's bumpy.
So this is little Esme. She is she's a cream. You're a hero.
You're a hero covered in cream.
Yes. And she's a fluffy carrier. And she's a pretty little girl. And she's not going to be big. She's got a nice flat face. She's got nice ears. She's got a nice, really sweet personality. But yeah, so back to this question here is that, certainly I suspect it wasn't the dog's cold. I suspect the dog you're getting is just going to be a quiet, calm, more of a shy dog and behave.
Well, it depends on socialism too, on how socialized the baby is.
Yes. So
also.
So that's something else. I think that if you can see it. Well, I reckon, because you went and saw this dog, so you should have had an opportunity to get an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
But for most of you don't have that opportunity. People who are buying our dogs to be that, the answer is FaceTime. Have a FaceTime. And if you want to see how she's behaving, see if you can do a FaceTime where they can have that dog outside, maybe
running and playing.
With the other dogs running around and playing.
With its brothers and sisters.
Yes.
That tells you a lot right there.
Exactly right, yes.
Yeah.
If you put a dog outside all by itself when it's used to being with its brothers and sisters, it's not going to be particularly happy.
No.
Probably not. But if, and you can see Esme, she's got her ears down a little bit. She doesn't have them up like this. She's got them down like this, and that's because she's a little bit nervous about the
Her
whole
little
thing.
brother is going to be lost. Little
Yes.
Romeo, he's going to be crying at
Yes,
the
he's
store.
probably crying right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, on with the next
But
question.
He goes to his new home. Excuse me. Romeo goes to his new home in just maybe this weekend, if the flights are allowing them to.
So this is from Snub-Nosed Bald, and I may have answered this one, but is it good to give females amoxicillin on first day of heat for about a week or so before mating? And this was in reference to my video on Pyometra and vaginitis and UTIs in dogs. We don't give any antibiotics to dogs unless they physically are having some kind of reason that we think they need an antibiotic. Elevated temperature, vaginal discharge, things that lets you believe there's something going on. Otherwise, you run the risk of basically wiping out the good fauna in their gut and causing other problems. And we tend to overuse antibiotics, both for humans and for dogs. So just use antibiotics sensibly. Just don't give them willy-nilly. Give them when you think you need them.
Don't give them willy-nilly?
Willy-nilly.
Where's that medicine at?
Willy-nilly? I don't know. Easton Meyer just received a bottle of 5 milligrams folic acid in the mail today. Do I just sprinkle over my female's food? I also got a bottle of Oxymate today. I'm assuming it's okay to give them
I wouldn't sprinkle it on their food.
Nope.
I would make sure that they took it.
How do you do that, Tammy?
Not at all. I wrap it up in, if you got some Bill Jacks sitting around, stick it in, squish it up inside that, or a weenie or something. Put it in the middle of that, a little bite of it, and she's going to think, oh, that's a treat, and eat it.
So when we give medicines to our dogs, they tend to know what's going to happen
Yeah.
And they will put it in the back of their mouth somewhere and spit it out when you're not looking.
Oh, they got all this extra skin in their gums, and they.
Yep.
Usually that's where it goes, and then it comes out later. But
so some of these
make sure they eat it.
Some of these medicines are really bitter, and so if they're really bitter, they're not going to like it. So I don't know whether.
And James knows because he's got to taste everything.
I do.
So.
I do. I want to know. Albon tastes delicious. The dogs will eat Albon up all day long. But other medicines, not so much. Some of them are very bitter. Some of them are disgusting. So you can put it on their food if you know that's the only dog that's eating the food and they eat all their food, sure. As far as using Oxymate and folic acid at the same time, it's fine. Oxymate doesn't have enough folic acid in it, in my opinion. It's got like half a gram, and you're giving, or less, maybe it's 1/10 of a gram, and you're going to give 5 grams. So it's absolutely fine to give them together, no problem at all. Well, let's see, we answered some of these questions, so I've got to go roll down and find the ones we haven't answered. Give me a couple of seconds. Well, I may be answering some questions I answered last time, and if I do, apologise. I'll get past this real quick. Little Mogwas, I'm expecting 2 litters at the same time. I've got an extra large incubator. Will it be okay to put both litters in there at the same time? Yes and no. So, you know, if you're in a bind and you need an incubator, you've got to use it. We don't use incubators unless we need them, because we leave mums and babies together. So, you know, I think generally I don't like the idea about putting 2 different litters together. I think you could have a problem. Now, if somebody's got some kind of a problem, you could pass it on to the other litter. Whenever this doggy right here, for instance, is going to where's he going to? Baltimore?
No, she's going to Virginia, I think.
So you see, she's a lot more relaxed already, isn't she? She's already got her ears up.
Yeah.
So our advice to anybody getting a new dog like this is you quarantine any new dog, old or young, comes into your household, gets quarantined for 2 weeks, because you just don't know what might be going on. And I'll give you an example here. This is a friend of ours who breeds with us, not our dogs, not our process, but they brought a new dog into their clan. Unbeknownst to them, that dog had parvo, and it then wiped out 2 litters of dogs. They all died.
Wasn't ours.
Wasn't ours. Nothing to do with us.
Somebody else.
We either told them, you know, if they'd listened to us, they wouldn't have done that, but they did. Yeah. So the point here is, I'm not sure what the point is. What was I talking about?
I
Go back
have
to this.
no idea.
Oh, yeah. So the point here is that, you know, I think that it's unwise to mix dogs up until you know that they've had their full shots. So right now we have a puppy that we got that is now been with us for exactly 2 weeks, hasn't it? She's fixing to be introduced in the general population, but her poop is not quite the way we like it. So we're not going to put them in with the other puppies. We don't want to have a problem. So for that very reason, I would be cautious about mixing dogs up. Especially, remember, puppies until they're at least 6 months old do not have full immunity. So just be a little careful of this. I know you want to introduce all your dogs to everybody else, and I fully understand that. But err on the side of caution is always wise.
Right. Remember the what ifs. So.
That's right.
Gotta always think of the what ifs.
I'm going back down through here. Sorry about this. Esme's looking at it, decided she's going to put a paw on the one I need to do next.
There's a sweet girl.
Robbie Knoxville, my pup had a first heat at 9 months. When can I expect it to come back in? About 6 months later.
Hopefully. Could be 8 months later. But just throw in a white towel. I've said this over and over again. Throw in a white towel in her bedding where she sleeps, and you'll see red spots, and you'll definitely know she was in heat.
So Muhammad Ali says, this is from one of my videos on problems and fixes, part 2 and 5. You didn't talk about discharge. Okay. So I think we're going to spend the rest of this video talking about, yes.
Well, I need to let my nanny know that
We'll just finish this answer. Oh, Nanny's waiting at the airport. That's the reason
Yeah,
why.
well, you got 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Got 2 minutes, so we're just going to do this. Discharges. Let's talk about discharges, possible causes, problems, and fixes. So, first one is a very typical thing that I get lots of questions on is my dog has a slimy stuff coming out of its back end. And this is a dog that has been bred, and you're probably something between a month to a few days from whelp. That is nothing more than a mucus plug. Completely normal. You will not always see it. It'll look like a jelly-like substance, not a lot of it, probably hanging off her back end, maybe on her bedding. It'll be kind of slimy, like snot. You might see it with it might be a slightly different color, a little bit reddish, because it might have got a little bit of blood in it. Completely normal, nothing to worry about. If you see a discharge on a dog that, other than that, time to take its temperature. I keep harping about this, and I always will. Take its temperature, 102 or above, something to be concerned
Or
about.
if they got pale gums.
Pale
You can tell
gums,
that way.
drinking
Yeah.
lots of water, very restless, not that happy dog. Time to take his temperature, and if you're unclear on what to do, vet time.
If their gums are kind of a whitish, grayish color, there's something not
Yes.
good.
Yes.
They're not
Yeah.
feeling good.
Yeah. So, you know, in all of these situations where if you're not sure, the right thing to do is go to the vet, because you want to catch any problems early. You know, the big concern about dogs that have been bred is a thing called Pyometra. And there's two versions of Pyometra. There's what's called an open Pyometra, where the dog physically is discharging a bit of color, and he'll be up there, Tommy. And the other one is a closed Pyometra, where you see no evidence of a discharge, but the dog is in trouble. So in both cases, vet time and antibiotics. Okay, so that's it for this one, and
Bye.
Esme says goodbye.
All kids' litters are already all spoken for. Chanel's got a litter, 580-799-2873. That's all her fluffy carrier platinums.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.